Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Wait till a few you guys get up in here, man. We're gonna talk about this heavyweight news. Some good fights coming up on Saturday, coming up tomorrow, man. So I want to talk about a few of these with you guys, man. Kind of consolidate all this news into one instead of doing individual videos about, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 fights I want to talk about. Just did a live video talking about the whole Ortiz and Dillian Whyte situation. See, I got some thumbs down. A lot of people disagree. And that's totally fine, man. It's just what I'm saying is I want to see Luis Ortiz, if he does fight Dillian Whyte, I want to see him fight December 1st. You know what I mean? I'm going to the fight. So, yeah, speaking from my point of view, yeah, I want to go and see Whyte Ortiz on that card. You know what I mean? I've seen some fans in the comment section saying that to that video, saying that the fight should be in the UK December 22nd. That it'd be a big pay-per-view card, and yeah, that's cool for y'all. But over here, that don't do nothing for me or for us, because we want to see Luis Ortiz December 1st. You know what I mean? So, I'm not gonna go back and forth with that shit, man. Like I said, man, a lot of these guys say they'll fight old man Ortiz, right? But it's never whenever he wants to fight or needs to fight, it's never convenient for that fighter. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Is what it is. So wait till a few more get in here, maybe we're gonna chop it up. All right, so let's see who's all in the building. Say what's up to y'all that's joined. Woolbag, what's good? AZ says they both make more money in the UK, so it makes sense. Yeah, it would make, look, of course it makes sense to make more money. Nobody's disputing that. But I'm a fan, dude. I'm not just sitting here like, no, man, just do what makes you the most money all the time. Shit, sometimes as a fan, I want you to do what's convenient to us. That'd be a great fight for us in here in the US, for the US fans, to see Dillian Whyte live against Luis Ortiz. I didn't get a chance to go to the Dillian Whyte versus Malcolm Tan fight. You know what I mean? So that did nothing for us. But if you really want to come over here and fight somebody of note for your well, it won't be his debut, but for your second fight, Luis Ortiz. You know what I mean? Could they make more money out in the UK? Yes, that does make sense. But to me as a fan, for us to be able to see him live December 1st, that makes sense to us, to me. You know what I mean? So shit, what about things that make sense to us, the fans? You get what I'm saying? And not just because I see you put because I'm going to the fight. Not just because I'm going to the fight, because you'll be on the undercard. And that's another thing. Look, I know that my man Dillian Whyte is very popular over there in the UK. He is. But that popularity doesn't automatically translate over here in the US. There are going to be some people there like, who is this dude? Believe it or not, I know for you guys it's kind of hard to fathom that, but yeah, man, just like some of our fighters may go over to UK, and some of the UK fans are really, they're more into the sport than a lot of us here in America. You know what I mean? But there may be some guys where you guys would be like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? But there's gonna be some dudes there that might not really know Dillian Whyte. You might have to explain to them who he is. It's not like he comes over here the whole, every sporting show, First Take and Undisputed is going to be talking about the arrival of Dillian Whyte. That's just not true, man. You know what I mean? So, but what I'm saying is, bro, is back to another guy that wants to fight him. He wants to fight Luis Ortiz. He'll get in the ring with him. Not on December 1st, though. You get what I'm just, as a fan, I'm so, over the years, man, I've been hearing this time and time again since 2013, 14. Whoever it is, I'll fight them, but not right now. I'll fight them. And then, December 1st is, that's a lot sooner than December 22nd. You know what I mean? So he needs an opponent for December 1st, man. I understand that Dillian Whyte has came out even before Luis Ortiz said he was going to be on this card. He had came out prior. Him and Eddie Hearn saying that he's going to return in December. So we already knew that he needed an opponent, but the opponent that they were always talking about was a Chisora fight. Unless I missed the video where they said that, oh, Chisora or Luis Ortiz. I never heard nothing about Luis Ortiz until today, as far as concerning December. I know that Dillian Whyte has said before in the past that he'll fight him. I know all the stuff prior. I'm talking about for this December. This is the first time I've heard that Whyte wanting Ortiz for December. After the fact, he said he needed somebody for December 1st. You get what I'm saying? So that just odd to me, man. But hey, man, you know, we're going to disagree. We're just going to disagree, man. But I want to see him December 1st. You know what I mean? You want to come over here, you know, to the U.S. soil and make a big splash? Fight Luis Ortiz. Lawrence Williams, what it do? Pasha Blaine was good. Briz, what's up? Wool Bag, what's good, man? Is this Sebastian okay? What's good, man? Wool Bag, okay, let me read some of the comments here. Okay, AZ also says Whyte made money in last fight. I can't see him going back to short money now. See, man, but man, yo, man, money can't always be the excuse for everything. I'm not advocating for guys to go out there to fight for peanuts, man, but don't get this mistaken. It's not like these dudes are gonna, well, I'm not in negotiations, but it's not like these dudes are gonna take home 7 grand or some shit, you know what I mean? 10 grand. You know what I mean? Money, I mean, sometimes, man, it gotta be about legacy and putting yourself in a better position. Fighting Joseph Parker is a very popular fight over there in the UK. If that's the case, well then, if that's the case, and it's always about short money and money this and money that, then Dillian Whyte might as well just say, I'm not fighting nobody except it has to be in the UK. Because who the fuck else can you go to make some money? So him going over to fucking Canada to fight Oscar Rivas is never going to happen. Him going to, you know, New Zealand to fight Junior Fa will never happen. Him, you know, and I'm just throwing shit out there. Him fighting Ajit Cabello in Germany will never happen. Why? Because he'll make more money in the UK. Him come over here fighting Luis Ortiz should never happen, right? Because he'll make more. So pretty much what he's saying is, or what you're saying is, in my opinion, is Dillian Whyte should just fight in the UK. Everybody he fights, it has to be in the UK because he'll make more money there. If that's the case, well then just say that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is on that one, man. I want to move on from that shit. Let me see here. I'm just trying to say what's up to everybody. Woolbag says, number one, Dillian Whyte can build some reputation in the U.S. I agree. In front of what's likely to be a sold-out crowd, all he has to do is put up good fight or beat OT. Yeah, it's just one fight date. You know, it's not like this has to, you know, he got to be over here for 5 straight fights in a row. It's just the, you know, this little scrap. What's wrong with this little scrap? You know, when you came over for your takeover against Malcolm Tan, I know it was a little stay busy joint, but you still came over here and fought. Anything could have happened in that fight. You could have got a cut or got injured or just some freak injury. Knock on, you know, thank goodness that you didn't. You know what I mean? But anything could happen, man. So, look, man, it just seems like the route that they're going to go is Chisora versus Dillian Whyte in December. That's what I think may happen if you guys were to ask me. So my thing is, man, just get ready for that rematch. Y'all both, you know, you had a good first fight. A lot of other fans thought that Chisora won the fight. I actually had Whyte winning by a point. I did a post fight, usually a point or two, but I thought it was a very close fight. So there's nothing wrong with that rematch, man. But don't, you know, try to make it seem as if, see, Luis Ortiz is running again. I told him December 22nd when the dude is trying to fight December 1st. And obviously, it's not just all about the bread for Ortiz, man. Like, it's not like this dude is some fledgling fringe contender, you know, trying to pay rent or some shit, man. Like I follow dudes on Instagram. It seems to live pretty comfortably from what I've seen on Instagram. You know what I mean? I know some people can kind of put a little extra sauce on it when it comes to Instagram as far as showing off their things. But from what I've seen, he seemed like a real humble guy, family man. And from the outside looking at the things that I've seen him with and have, seems pretty comfortable. Doesn't like somebody, you know, trying to pay their Excel bill next week. You know what I mean? So again, it's called prize fighting. So I understand that. But sometimes, man, you might have to take a fight or two that's about legacy sometime, yo. It's not always just about the bank account, man. Sometimes shit gotta be about legacy. And taking fights sooner than later. You know what I mean? So I just don't get the argument of, well, more money, especially from us fans. It's like, okay, but bro, don't we want what's best for us sometimes instead of just what's best for the person's pockets all the time as a boxing fan? You know, like when I watch the NBA, and I understand this is a contact sport, you can get hurt, you can get fuck around, get killed in the ring. But when I'm watching the NBA or other sports, I'm not sitting there like, man, he should go to that team. If he does, I'm going to be upset because he can make more money over there. Like, I don't give a fuck. Just pick a team to play for and I'm going to watch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, Lawrence, that's what's up. Lawrence Williams says he's seen an ES News video and Top Rank is trying to make Jennings versus Rivas for top 5 WBC ranking. Shit, I hope they make it, man. It's just, but here now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this is exactly what I mean when I'm talking about going different places to fight. I think so. The eye exam, I know he'll pass the eye exam up in Canada. I'm not sure if he'll pass one down here though, Lawrence. Every time Rivas comes down here, well, not every time because he has fought in the U.S. before, but the previous time he tried to come down here so he can get his fight against Jennings. I'm sorry, not against Jennings. Against Gerald Washington, he failed the eye exam. Amir Mansour was put on the table for Rivas. He failed his eye exam. So my thing is, in Jennings, I think Jennings he seems as if the type of guy, he doesn't seem like a diva or have all types of demands. He seems like the type of person that would travel. I'd like to see Jennings go up to Canada, fight him like in I think, where does he fight out of? I think Montreal. It isn't in Montreal where they got like the big fan base up there and they have good fights. Was it the Montreal Center or some shit like that? Up there, one of you guys correct me, but I think Jennings should just go up there. Winnable fight. I think it's a winnable fight for Jennings. I think it's a hell of a fight. It's a winnable fight. I think they'll bang. Because Jennings, 84-inch reach, but he likes to come in with the high guard. And Rivas wants you right in his wheelhouse, man, to land those short combinations, uppercuts, and hooks. I think it'd be a good fight. But I think Jennings, if they can make that fight, just go up to Canada, yo. Again, and I don't want to sound savage, man, because I don't want Rivas to lose his eyesight. Because I said that before, man. If something's really wrong with his eye and his retina, and they're just giving him fights up in Canada, wink, wink, for a favor just to get him in the ring, I don't want to see nobody lose their fucking eyesight, Joe. I love me some blood in the ring. I like seeing people get knocked the fuck out. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you and lie to you. But I don't want to see somebody, just push somebody in the ring knowing they can't fucking see. I wouldn't advocate for that. Although there have been guys in the past that have gotten a fucking ring blind in one eye. You know what I mean? Lying to the doctors and shit. So I understand it. But I think he should just go up to Canada, man, because he will pass his eye exam for sure up there. But if they can make Jennings versus Rivas, that's a dope fight. All right, see y'all going back and forth. What's up to everybody that's joining, man? Marley 3000 says that's a lie. It's all about the money. I'm not sure if he's talking to me or other people. My thing is, it is about the money, man. Again, I'm not saying go fight this guy for $1 million or fight this guy for $737. I'm not saying some huge ass difference, man. But if it's just like a little bit of difference, and it's enjoyable for us fans, and you're doing the fans a favor, but you're still getting paid. Sometimes you can take a pay cut. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm not gonna advocate for nobody to take a pay cut. Do what the fuck you want. I'm just a fan. I'm just telling you as a fan that I want to see them fight December 1st. That's what I'm telling you. But if you're more concerned about their pockets and what's best for them financially, and you're coming at it from a manager's point of view and a family member's point of view, then that's great too. Or a businessman's point of view, that's great too. I'm just coming from just a strictly fan that want to see people get in there and rumble. That's what I want to see. Fuck all this other shit. Rumble, show me, man. Quit talking and show me. Amon Rice says, salute to Mr. Boxes today and entire LDBC. That's what's up, man. Definitely shout out to the LDBC. Let me see here. All right, man. Let me talk about a few others, man. This is being dominated right now by this Whyte versus Ortiz. Real quick, y'all. I wrote them down so I won't forget anything. Nikoski Solomon, he is with what's my man's name? Eddie Hearn. He will be making his pro debut on the yeah, he's going to be on the Miller Adamek, right? Well, I know he's making his pro debut. Looking forward to him. Quick, strong, tall youngster. I like what I see. You know, I like what I see. Gonna see how he pans out as a pro. Seems to have a long reach. Seems to be in shape. He's more of a he's muscle, but he's more thin and lean with it. You know what I mean? He likes to use the jab and come with the right hand, left hook. Want to see him tomorrow. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, man. Woo wee, this man. Big Jarrell coming in at 90 pounds heavier than Thomas Adamek. Jarrell's going to be 317 pounds on fight night. It's like he's just getting bigger and bigger, man. I did see some highlights of him in the ring, training, hitting the bag, throwing, you know, shadow boxing. Like I always say, man, he reminds me of one of those NFL linemen. You know how it is with NFL linemen. You may see him out and about and be like, man, this dude's fat as hell, or he don't look like he can play. But then you see him and he's nimble as shit. Jarrell's like that dude. Jarrell's like that dude at the school dances. Y'all remember going to the school dance? The big boy that can actually dance, though, where everybody's crowding around looking at him dance. This nigga doing the moonwalk, the running man, the cabbage patch. You know what I'm saying? He break dancing, popping, locking, doing everything. And he's big as hell. That's Jarrell Miller. He's that guy. He's an NFL, you know, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, where you look at him and be like, but then you see him and you're like, damn, this dude can move, or damn, this dude's quick. You know what I mean? Or damn, this dude can get off the line fast as hell. Or he can get to the quarterback just like that. He's one of them dudes, man. Now, will this help him out in the long run? We will see. We will see. But as of right now, the dude puts out a high output. He isn't, you know, this one-punch massive knockout artist, but I have seen him get very nasty in the ring. Like the shit he did to Donovan Dennis, that was pretty nasty, man. That knockout was nasty. He comes to chop you down, man. He comes to chop you down. And Marius Whyte, you know, people, you know, kind of shitting on him for his last performances, but bro, Marius Whyte is a tough motherfucker, man. I'm not talking about going to BoxRec, look at his record, and no, I'm talking about actually watching him and seeing him in the ring and just breaking him down, and that's a hard motherfucker to stop and look impressive against. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do against Dubois. You know what I mean? So Jarrell's doing what he has to do as far as fighting, you know, former title contenders, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So I expect him to take care of Thomas Adamek. I think Adamek's going to come out using, you know, Adamek's going to come out, man, using his combinations and trying to move. I expect Adamek to come out. He's the... saying he's the lighter man is kind of an understatement, right? This motherfucker's damn near, that's like a motherfucking 4th grade boy. You know, 90 fucking pounds different, man. But I expect Adamek to come out, try to move and do this type of shit, try to keep his distance. Let Jarrell, you know, Jarrell's gonna come forward. Jarrell may give you all types of different shit. Jarrell, he does little shit where he'll be like, and of course, this isn't gonna knock you out, right? When he's punching like this, this is just to keep you busy, to keep leather in your face, it's not knocking you out, but it's just to keep you blinking, keep you moving, keep you thinking. It's to keep you off your game. And that's what Jarrell does. But then he's sneaky though, man. Jarrell does things where, yeah, he's throwing a lot of this type shit and these weird, awkward punches. But then he is placing hard ones. So when he's active and he's putting out a high output, people think his high output should be this. Like everything. This isn't a video game where you're going to just do high output like that the whole time. You got to place shit. So he'll kind of go like this. Then he'll bring to the body. He'll do this. He'll do shit like this. Now I've seen him do this type of shit and go like that. You know, that's Jarrell. But when he's right in here, overhands and keep it to the body, he can hurt you. Accumulation. That's what Jarrell's about. He's accumulation. Jarrell isn't Deontay Wilder where he's doing this and, you know, and he isn't doing that. That's not him. Or he's not Anthony Joshua where he's, you know, doing this. Nah, his shit is, you know, he's pecking away at you, keeping you busy. He's staying busy himself, and then he's sneaking in and placing hard shots. That's what he likes to do. And I think he's going to back Adamek up. I think he's going to back him up. Hurt him. Tire him out. Stop him. In that order. Kyle Craig says, finally got into live show. Love your videos, mate. Got real energy. I appreciate that. See my man Blood's in the building. What's good, Blood? Hey, Blood, man, I got my ticket, bro. You going to the fight? I got my flight booked. I got the room booked. Got my tickets, bro. I'm going to this one. Blood, see, I think Blood is, let me see what Blood said. He says, well, retro boxing and documentaries, Blood boxing. He says the rankings are created, and that's the problem. When Whyte received his #1 ranking, and he had not fought one top 10, Chausseur wasn't in the top 10, then Bellew #5. Like, yeah, Blood, and just to add to that, man, all these rankings are a joke. And I see a lot of fans, you know, they'll point to one ranking system and say, oh, this one's just horrible. It's like, dude, they're all horrible, man. They're all horrible. The WBA, I mean, they got guys like fucking Fred Zakendo in the top 10 and Guillermo Jones. And Guillermo Jones is a crafty guy. Shout out to Greg Corbin, because he said that Guillermo Jones was giving him some good work in sparring. He sparred Luis Ortiz as well and Wilder. And Jones was a hell of a fighter back in his day at cruiserweight, man. He was a long-reigning cruiserweight champion, but he is not a top 10 heavyweight, man. That's just, and I'm giving him props for what he used to be, but he's not a top 10 heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Tom Schwartz, I like him as a prospect, German prospect. I like the guy, but I think the WBA or WBO had him like top 5. You know what I mean? Like Karatoro Fujimoto is not a top 10 heavyweight, Joe, but some of these sanction bodies have these guys rated in their top 10s. And that's not to knock those guys. Shit, they just the fighters. They want their title shot. So coming from their perspective, they might look at me like, man, you hating on me. You know what I mean? But as a fan, I'm looking at like, when did you become top 10? Like, who the fuck did you be? You know what I mean? These dudes all need to fight each other. So the rankings to me, man, I go by them, but to me, it's just like, just fight each other, man. And then everything else to take care of itself. But the way the WBC is doing their shit, where they got their mandatory, what they have Brazil like #4 now, I think they all, it's odd. This shit is odd. I can't even, there's nothing I can say. The rankings are odd as hell, man. And then the IBF is famous for never having a #1 ranking. Shit's just odd, man. All the sanctioning bodies, not just one of the fighter you don't like, all that type of petty argument. They're all shitty, all of them. All right, I see people saying Wilder said Whyte will have to wait 2 years to get a title shot. Yeah, you know, well, I guess Wilder said a lot, I heard that before. What's your name? Mosaic SK. I heard people saying that something about showing somebody some text messages or emails. But I've also heard Wilder also say, man, fight Ortiz and I'll give you your shot. So we can't pick and choose which or what news we want to use when it comes to this Wilder Whyte thing. All I know is but regardless of what Wilder said, all I know is the WBC ordered Ortiz versus Whyte for the second mandatory. I even heard Brazil say he's willing to put that shit on the line, his mandatory spot. He's willing to put that on the line to fight Dillian Whyte in December, or to fight Dillian Whyte. You know what I mean? So people are giving him ways to get to Wilder. I respect him for wanting to fight Wilder right straight away. I give him respect for that. That's showing me that he wants to fight Wilder, Dillian Whyte. I respect that. But there's fighters out here, along with the WBC, giving you ways to get to that title quick. Brazil said, hey, man, I'll put my shit up against you. WBC said, hey, man, we'll order you versus Ortiz for the second mandatory. I know it's the second mandatory, but at least you know you're going to be up next. But then, hey, man, Dillian Whyte probably looking at it like, you know what, fuck all that. I'm going to just fight whoever in December. Hopefully I win, and I'm gonna get my, because I think it is going to be AJ Whyte first quarter next year. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see, man, because you never know what's going to happen. We're going to see what's take place after December 1st, or just for the month of December to get done, because Dillian Whyte gonna be fighting in December too. So not just December 1st, but for the month of December to come to completion. You know what I mean? Then we'll get a better idea of what's going to go on going into 2019. You know what I'm saying? Also, man, so I talked about Miller. I think he's going to chop down Adamek. Dubois versus Kevin Johnson. It's going to be a good one. Kevin Johnson going to come out. I guarantee you he's going to be giving Dubois these types of looks and giving him his left shoulder and moving and snapping the jab from the hip. He's going to give him all these looks. He may come in and grab Dubois, try to hit him on the inside, frustrate him with a jab. But I think Dubois is just going to be catching all that shit, and he's going to walk him down with the jab, right hand, left hook. I think he's going to walk him down, hurt him, and most likely get him out of there. Milas, speaking of Kevin Johnson, Milas, he is 12-0. He's a 23-year-old Croatian prospect. He's about 6'5", 230 pounds. He's beaten Kevin Johnson. It was a good little scrap, and he beat Francisco Pianata, who Tyson Fury just beat. Pianata also fought against Klitschko. But anyways, when you think of Croatian prospects, you think of Filip Hrgović. That's the first guy that pops out, right? At least for me. So to see another Croatian prospect who seems like, I want to see some more of him. He goes lefty to righty. Against Pianata, I was watching that fight. He was popping. He actually turned southpaw. He goes from orthodox to southpaw. And he was, it seems as if from what I see, when he goes southpaw, he wants to stay on his toes more and pop that right jab. At least that's what I saw. But I've never interviewed him. I'm not sure what he is looking at or what he's trying to achieve when he goes lefty or righty. Sometimes guys go lefty to really set up that lead right hook. Sometimes, you guys get what I'm saying? Sometimes guys switch to do other things. Well, I'm going to go orthodox to really get my jab going, because really my left hand is really my strong hand. They kind of switch to land different shots they want to land. All right, but he does have that skill, and he will be in action also against Mirko Tinter. I tried to look up Mirko Tinter. He is 14-1-1 as far as his record. I could not find a shred of footage on him. All right, so I don't know, so just going off a blind pick, I'm going to go with Milas in that fight. All right. Simon Kean versus Dillian Carmen. Yes, sir. That's going to be a good one up there in Canada. Simon Kean, 15-0, Olympian, big, strong motherfucker, man. Heavily muscled guy, about 6'5", 250. I think his jab is his best punch and his left hook. He likes to throw a bludgeon. He kind of bludgeons you to death with that big jab, and he throw the right hand and a big left hook behind it. He's fighting against Dillian Carmen. Some of you remember Razor Ruddock making his, I think Ruddock was like literally 51 years old when he fought Dillian Carmen. That's the dude that knocked out Ruddock, was Dillian Carmen. Carmen's also been involved in some Canada Fight of the Years. He fought, what was the dude's name, man? Sylvester Luis, I think that's the guy he fought. They had a Fight of the Year. Both guys getting knocked out, getting knocked down and getting back. It was a good fight. Carmen will come to fight. He's one of them dudes where if you bring the fight to him, he's just going to throw at you. The dude going to throw some leather. And he's a big guy himself, about 6'5". I believe he has like an 80-inch reach. He's going to throw some leather, man. And then hopefully the winner out of this Kean versus Dillian Carmen fight will fight Maldon Milas. He is 9-0 with 9 knockouts. He's the Canadian champion. He actually fought Dillian Carmen, and both these motherfuckers scored literally a double knockdown. And they were both hurt when they got up. They were both hurt when they got up, man. That shit. If you guys haven't seen that, go type in Dillian Carmen versus Maldon Milas. And that shit was crazy, man. So Dillian Carmen is going to definitely bring the fight. And hey, maybe it'll be Dillian Carmen in a rematch with Maldon Milas again. Or it's going to be Simon Kean, 2 undefeated guys. You know what I mean? Fighting for that Canadian title. Then you got Alexander Teslenko up there as well. He's about 13-14-0. Then obviously we have Oscar Rivas up there. So that's going to be a good one. It's going to be some good fights October 6th, man. So Simon Kean versus Dillian Carmen. Simon Kean versus Dillian Carmen taking place tomorrow. Patar Milas is taking on Mirko Tinter. And don't get Patar Milas mixed up with Maldin Melhas. All right, their names are damn near spelled the same, their last names. Miller Adamek, Dubois Johnson, Nikolsky Sullivan making his debut. Oh, Darmani Rock taking on Pedro Rodriguez. Darmani Rock, quick hands. He's with Rock Nation. He's 12-0. He was going to be the guy that we thought we were going to send to the Olympics in 2016 for super heavyweight. He ended up losing in the, he got upset rather in the U.S. Olympic trials. He lost to Marlo Moore, Bay Area fighter who has worked with Virgil Hunter. He actually, Marlo actually did some sparring with Andre Ward too. But anyways, that's who Darmani Rock lost to in the Olympic trials. So he never made it to the games. But he was our favorite to push to go to the games, man. And he actually beat Marlo Moore in the amateurs. That he actually beat him that year going into the Olympic trials. Got upset. He actually got stopped. But Darmani Rock is a talented kid. He's from Philly. He's going to be headlining his own card in Philly, so that's a good look for him. Quick hands. I just want to see him work on his weight. That's it. But you know, I want to see him work on his weight, and you know, and obviously take on tougher and stiffer competition as he comes up through the ranks. But young kid, I believe he's what, 22 or something like that. I think he's 22 years old, 23 at the oldest, I believe. But quick hands, good right hand, good left hook, good combination puncher. Seems pretty patient. Just want to see the kid work on his weight. You know what I mean? About 6'4", 6'5". The dude can fight, man. I like what I see. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it as far as this weekend. Let me see what y'all talking about. Easy Band says, like the video, y'all. Yeah, man. Give me a thumbs up, man. Or a thumbs down. Whatever, you know, however you feel. It's all gravy. Gaines PP, what's up? Okay, I'm just gonna read this. AZ says, I don't think Warren can pay Ortiz and Whyte good money for December 1st. All right, so let's just say AZ that they don't get good money. Do you still want to see the fight December 1st? I still want to see it. And then I guess it all depends on what they consider and what you consider and what I consider or anybody else considers. What's good money? How much is that? What exactly is that's good money? Besides the obvious of like $15 million or some crazy shit. But you know what I'm saying though, like what's good money? And if they don't get good money on December 1st, I still want to see it. I'm not gonna say, man, I'm gonna watch it, but they're not getting good money. Like that's not gonna be on my mind. That's not gonna be on my mind. I'm just gonna be like, damn, they about to get this on, and the winner of this has to get a fucking title shot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Somebody says Wilder's putting up barriers to Whyte. He says, Moizik SK says Wilder puts barriers to Dillian Whyte. He's don't want that work with him because he's consistent and grafting for years, something Wilder opponents don't have in common. Fury, Ortiz, Stavern too. Well, bro, you saying like Fury and Ortiz is like obscure journeymen or something. Like those are the fucking top fighters, bro. Like, see, I'm not one of them people that think, oh, he's scared of Whyte because he's going to fight weak-ass Fury. Like, man, Fury's dope. Like, what? What? Or, oh, man, he turned down Whyte to fight Ortiz. Ortiz is dope. Like, them motherfuckers can fight. It's not like he's turning down Dillian Whyte to fight a fringe contender. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, if you think Dillian Whyte fighting Ortiz is a barrier, then that's your opinion, man. You know what I mean? If you think that's a barrier. Because okay, this is my opinion. I think Whyte made a mistake by just fighting who he wants to fight and then say, man, I deserve my title shot now. I beat Brown. I beat Parker. My thing is, who in the hell told Dillian Whyte that if he beats Parker, Brown, that he's gonna get a title shot? Nobody, from my recollection, I never heard once a WBC say, if you beat Lucas Brown, you get a title shot. Never once did I hear the WBC say, if you beat Joseph Parker, you get a title shot. I've heard them say, if you beat Luis Ortiz, you'll get a title shot. You can't just make up your own mandatory situation. And that's what I think he's doing. Is the Parker win a good win? Yes. Do I think Parker's a legit top 10 regardless of Shanks in the body? Yes, and I give him merit for that. And I think that does put him in a better position. There's some fans that don't think that much of Parker. I do. You know what I mean? Just my opinion. But that's not what the WBC asked of you. Sometimes you got to do what they ask of you, man. You can't just make up your own situation. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, man. We just going to agree to disagree, man. You can't just make up your own situation, even if it was a good win. Just like if he takes on Chisora in December. Okay, but you got to remember, bro, nobody's telling you to fight Chisora to get a title shot. They told you Luis Ortiz. Now, some of you may rebuttal and say, okay, well, he's offering Ortiz that fight for December 22nd. But Ortiz is trying to get on this undercard. This is going to be a big fight here, y'all. You know what I mean? I live halfway across the fucking country. Like, I got to take a 4-hour flight to this. This ain't right across the street. I put thousands of dollars down for this. And there's going to be thousands of other people that's done the same. I'm not saying I'm special. There's going to be thousands of other fans that's going to do the same thing that I'm doing to get to December 1st. Like, this is a big fight. It means something. I don't know, man. But I can see where Dillian Whyte in any fucking fight, but especially Whyte, will have some they would not trust the WBC's word. But my thing is, if you get some shit in writing and get it down, you can sue them if they don't follow through with what y'all got in agreement, in a document, signed. You get what I'm saying? Don't do the whole handshake. We talked over the phone about it. Nah, get this shit in writing. Signatures. You know what I mean? Don't do the handshake deal. All right, y'all. See y'all going after it. Going after that topic. Xavier, I see Xavier left a comment, says if Whyte fights Wilder's undercard, then people in the U.S. will know who he is. I agree with that. But Xavier, I've been meaning to do a video, bro, for you, because you had asked me about James Toney versus Hasim Rahman, who I thought won that first fight. I watched both fights again. The rematch came kind of later because after that first fight, it was a draw. So Rahman kept that title, and then he ended up losing the title to Oleg Moskiev in his next fight. Then I think he fought he fought somebody. Is it Dominic Gwynn? I forgot who he fought, and then he fought James Toney in the rematch on Fox. The first fight, I thought Rahman, he did a good job, man. When Rock was in there with James, he did a good job of using his jab. But then he'll use his jab and he'll step over like this. Now, if you're James, this may show me inverted, man, but James, so if it's showing my left hand, it's really my right hand, all right? When you lean over like that, what is James famous for? Rolling, countering with the right hand. Give you a shoulder, then counter with the right hand. So when that jab was coming, James was able to kind of go like this, and then catch Rahman with right hands, and Rahman was right in the line for a right hand to come down and hit him. James was doing a good job of countering, but I thought Rahman, although he was putting on pressure like this, and he was digging, he was smothering his own work a lot. And that's James' wheelhouse. Like, James can fight you just like this and have literally this much space to land punches, and he'll beat you at it. That's how great James was on that infighting, man. So I thought he was landing a lot of the cleaner work, although it looked like Rahman, well, he was the aggressor, but the aggression really wasn't effective. It wasn't doing as much as it looked as it was doing, because he's on top of him, right? He's on top of him. The punches aren't even landing. They're not even landing. Some punches are getting caught with the elbow, getting caught with the gloves. A lot of them he was missing and catching counters. I had James winning that fight by a couple points. And then in the rematch, look, man. Plus, James is just hard to hit, man. And Rockman was he just wasn't landing clean work to me, but he was doing a good job of throwing his jab and landing it when he could. I thought he should have went to the body even more in that fight, because trying to headhunt against James Toney around then is you're running a risk of making yourself look stupid, and you're running a risk of getting hit with counter shots. James did a good job putting combinations together. There were some rounds where he was being out hustled by Rock, but the second fight, Rock is a tough dude, man. Come from Baltimore, came up from the mud, came up from the dirt, got in a bad accident. I like his story. I like Rock, man. And to be honest with you, man, Rock, before I get to the second fight, Rock doesn't get enough credit. People just think, oh, he got lucky against Lennox, and that's his career. Nah, man, Rock was a dude that was up and coming. There was a point in time when he was the 25-0 guy or whatever it was. I remember back in the day, he had a fight against Trevor Berbick, when he was, Berbick was past it, but it was one of those fights to see if you can beat a former world title old guy. It was one of those fights for an up and coming guy. He beat him. The Tua fight, the Moskia first fight, he was winning some of those fights, man. He wasn't getting his ass whooped. He was winning. Now guys caught up to him later in fights, but he was winning a lot of those fights that he lost. I rarely seen him get blown. And I ain't talking about the Rockman that fought fucking Povetkin towards the end. I'm talking about up until like that James Toney fight. You know what I mean? The Holyfield fight. I think Holyfield's actually beating him in that one, though. Then it's fucking he had that big ass knot on his head. But Rock was very competitive. I don't think he get enough props for how competitive and how good his jab was. I don't think he get enough credit for that. I think people just look at him as the guy that got lucky against Lennox. And it wasn't nothing luck about that. He set that right hand up. He set that shit up. Now that second fight, man, that punch that Lennox landed on him was so fucking loud. Especially when I was watching it live. It sounded like a damn cannon had went off. But Lennox got him back, you know what I mean? But in a nutshell, what I'm saying is Rock is very underrated, man. I think when we view him in history, is he one of the top heavyweights of all time? No. But he was much more than just somebody that got lucky, in my opinion, based on his skill set and watching him in fights, even fights that he lost. He always made a good account for himself, even in fights that he lost, right? But you're not giving guys brownie points, you know what I mean? But anyways, man, the second fight, Rock said he couldn't see. The doc asked him, can you see? He said no. They stopped it. If you guys remember, though, I think it was the round before he said, I can't see. Toney landed, I forgot what round it was, but he landed a right hand that shook Rockman. I mean, visibly shook him. Like he went back and kind of did the stinky leg for half a second and he got back. I think that maybe he couldn't see. But coupled that with, I think that he just knew it was going to be a long night. Toney was going to be on point landing them right hands, man. Sharp. And I remember the first fight, Emmanuel Stewart was saying, man, if James Toney was really a heavy-handed heavyweight, he would have knocked Hakeem Rockman out because he's landing clean right hands on him. So that's what I think about those two fights, man. I thought that second fight, I thought James was going to just take him to school. Especially when he hurt him early, when he rocked Rockman, I was like, oh, shit. Rockman just really had no way of defending them counters, man. They were just too quick. They were just too fucking quick. They were too quick, and I think those counters was going to take away some of Rockman's offense. Rockman liked to use his jab to set up his right hand. He had a good thudding, hard-ass jab, and it seemed like James was going to counter that and make him keep his jab up on the shelf or make him real hesitant to throw it. Somebody says, yeah, I'm done talking about Ortiz Whyte, man. I gave my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, that's cool, man. I'm not, it is what it is. See, Zoe Knight, I disagree with that. Zoe Knight says Wilder will have to forget about Joshua and fight Whyte after he beats Ortiz. Why would that have to be? Why exactly would he have to forget about him? Look, Dillian Whyte, Jarrell Miller. This isn't just the Dillian Whyte thing. Dillian Whyte, Jarrell Miller, Joseph Parker, Luis Ortiz, or anybody fucking else should not get in the way of undisputed. Look, man, none of them dudes, not just Dillian Whyte, none of them, Ortiz included, should get in the way of undisputed. Period, man. Period. Look, if Ortiz is to beat Dillian Whyte, I don't want to see a Wilder Ortiz rematch before I see it. Before we as fans shouldn't have to see a fucking rematch before we see undisputed. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. Bullshit. When are the Fury Wilder? Well, Wilder, if he loses, I'm sure will have a rematch clause. So I think they will have to fight again. But if Wilder beats Fury, Wilder versus AJ, man. Fuck all this other shit. Come on, y'all. Like, we got to quit drawing this out, man. He really, oh no, he deserves to wait and watch undisputed take place and then fight the winner of that. None of these contenders should stand in the way. None of these dudes are at a point to where they just went through 5 and 6 years of just being blackballed and people running, man. No, nobody has been, the one guy that everybody was saying deserved his title shot, he never got it, and why don't people fight him, was Ortiz, and he got his. You can say Dillian Whyte, but shit, Dillian Whyte had a chance to put himself in position for title shot had he beat Anthony Joshua the first time. I know they didn't fight for a title, but had he beat AJ, he could have put himself in a position to fight Charles Martin or some shit like that. Or maybe Charles wouldn't have picked him. Who knows? But he had his, he had a chance against AJ, titleless AJ, but he had a chance against AJ. Is he working his way up and deserving another one? Yeah, but Dillian Whyte shouldn't be used as somebody that's going to put a block to undisputed. What the hell? No. You deserve to sit and wait and then watch and then fight the winner of that. Especially if Whyte were to beat Ortiz. Then I'm like, shit, you beat Ortiz. But we're not about to hold up undisputed for that. Good job. Good win. Now we're about to watch this undisputed fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you fight the winner of that. I'm not saying the dude never deserves to get his crack, man, but he shouldn't be a roadblock for undisputed. Hell no. None of these damn contenders. Dominic Brazil, nobody. Somebody says Whyte has the best resume out of all the contenders. Don't tell me this guy doesn't. Who said he doesn't deserve a title shot? Nobody's saying he doesn't deserve a title shot. Look, man. Some of you guys are look, okay. If we're just looking at heavyweight contenders, out of the contenders, not Joshua Wilder, but out of the contenders, I would agree a guy like Dillian Whyte deserves a title shot. With that said, though, bro, what I'm trying to tell you is, with that said, though, the WBC told him he has to do something else. So it's not about us thinking he deserves what he deserves. Just like I used to say, Wilder should fight AJ for undisputed. Guess what fans were telling me? He don't deserve it. You get what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying with this is, the WBC is telling him what he has to do. So instead of just sitting here, he deserves. Why not just fight Ortiz? What they're asking you, beat him. You ain't got to worry about none of that shit. I don't recall nobody saying if you beat Lucas Brown, you're going to get a title shot. I don't recall nobody saying if you beat Joseph Parker, you're getting a title shot. Good wins, excellent wins. It makes you more deserving of a title shot, but it was never in writing, or it's never a final elimination bout to declare the winner of that fight to fight that was never agreed upon. You get what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying, but you get what I'm saying too, though. So it's one of those situations where it's like, you know what, man? If I'm Whyte, I'm like, you know what? If I'm Dillian Whyte, this is how I would be thinking. Like, man, I deserve my title shot. These people got me fucked up. But you know what? I'm gonna beat Luis Ortiz's ass. I'm gonna show the world and Wilder he's not the only person that can whoop this motherfucker as a pro. That's the mindset I would have. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit there like, nope, I'm not fighting you. Nope, nope, nope. I'm gonna go my own way and do my own thing and still say that I deserve. You'll be doing the I deserve chant for months. Just fight Luis Ortiz, bust his head, get him out of there. You bust Lucas Brown head, got him out of there. I mean, so what's the point? I mean, what's the difference here? AZ says, who should Wilder use as sparring partner for Fury? I think getting Malik Scott in camp would be a good thing. I think Malik Scott would be good. To me, man, when it comes to sparring, the way I would run a camp, and I've talked about this before, when it comes to sparring for me, I think that you should have a variety of everybody in your camp. You should even have short guys. Even though you're going against a 6'9" guy, have a short guy in there. Have guys that are his height. Have guys that are southpaw. Have some of everybody in there so you're ready for any and everything on fight night. But you do want guys in there that can mimic some of the things he can do, mainly the movement. And I think Malik Scott would be a good person to have in there for that. That's the guy off the top of my head. Gerald Washington, Charles Martin, some of the other guys, you know what I mean? But I would have some of everybody. I'll bring Gregory Corbin in there. I'll bring Avery Gibson in there for a guy who give you some, he's a durable, strong, hungry guy that, journeyman level guy, but he's been in a lot of Wilder camps. I'll have, man, what's my guy's name? What's the Cuban cat? It's gonna piss me off. Robert Santos, what's his name, man? The dude he just fought too, man. I can see his Robert Alfonso, that's his name. I'll have him in my camp. He's 16-0. You know what I mean? He's been in a lot of Wilder camps as it is anyways. I'll have him in there. I know Eric Molina has been in some Wilder camps. I'll try to bring in some pros, some guys, some top-notch, guys that actually fought for titles or guys that are up and coming, but I'll have some of everybody in my camp. Kind of like what Klitschko used to do. Klitschko would just invite the young guys. Hey, all y'all come here. Jarrell, Dillian, AJ, Fury, Helenius, Price. He had them all in his camps before. Come one, come all. Give me some good work. That's what I would do. Grievous says, who has Ortiz beaten? See, when people say stuff like that, Grievous, and that's your, that's your opinion. My thing is this, when you say stuff like that, to me, you've already discredited any of his wins. So why even go back and forth? If you say, who Ortiz beat? He ain't beat nobody. There's no discussion to have because obviously you're overlooking the Jennings fight. Either you think Jennings a bum or he's not that good. Me, man, I like to look at fights when they took place in the time they took place. It's easy to go on BoxRec, scroll, and say, oh, he fought Jennings in 2015. He, then scroll back down. No, when that fight took place, man, that was a 50-50-ish fight. There was a lot of fans going back and forth, and they were saying exactly what you were just saying. Who has Ortiz beat? People were saying, at least we've seen Jennings beat Arthur Spilka. He took Spilka's O away. He beat Perez. He took Perez O away. He went some tough rounds with Klitschko. Who the fuck has Luis Ortiz beat? They were saying the same thing, bro. I promise you they were. Because I was doing videos and reading the comments. They were saying the same thing. Who has he beat? Wait till Jennings go to his body and tires him down. Heard the same thing. I did. You know what I mean? So if you want to discredit that, that's fine. But I'm not going to. Because once upon a time, people were rating Jennings higher than Deontay Wilder. Believe it or not, they were. They were even rating Seth Mitchell higher than Deontay Wilder. Yeah, they were. That's why you got to let things develop and just see. You know what I'm saying? So when you say who was Ortiz beat, okay, you could discredit the Malik Scott. He didn't look good against Malik Scott, though. Yeah, Malik Scott was moving his ass off in that ring. It's hard to knock somebody out and look good when somebody is moving and they're not going to sit down for anything and they're just going to move or they're just going to cover up. I talk to these fighters, and when I ask fighters from the interviews I've done with fighters, I always throw this question in there just to hear what the fighter says, because when I talk to with other fans, we have a disagreement, but I just talk to the fighters and see what they say because they're the fighters. They tell me it's very hard, man, to knock somebody out that just goes like this and brace themselves for every punch you're going to throw. It's hard to knock them dudes out, and it's hard to knock out or look good against somebody who just moving the whole time. But I still think it was a win, and it's a name to have on his resume. Dave Allen is a tough motherfucker to knock out. Everybody just going in there knocking Dave Allen out. Is Dave Allen a top 5, top 10 heavyweight? No. But he's not, again, he's not somebody in there that's just laying down for people. Like Dave Allen got a fucking chin. If that's the case, Dillian Whyte didn't look that good against Dave Allen, if we're using that logic. You get what I'm saying? And another thing is the guy's got to get in the ring with Ortiz so he can beat somebody. It's hard to beat somebody when nobody's getting in the fucking ring with you. I'm not talking about I'll fight him. Plenty of guys have said that. Jarrell Miller said he'll fight him. Andrew Ruiz Jr. said he's fighting him. Dillian Whyte. A lot of people say they would fight him. They haven't. So when you say who he beat, my question to you, brother, is who gonna get in the ring with him? We agree to disagree. Big Nick says, Mr. Boxing, today I'm late on the show, but can you give us a breakdown of Wilder versus Fury? Wilder wins, but I have a sneaky feeling Fury may do it. Tie him up and take away that right hand, like with Vlad. Big Nick. Well, I'm gonna give you a quick preview, man, because I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna do a whole video dedicated to that style breakdown. But just briefly, now my camera may show me inverted, so when I'm saying the right hand by Wilder, it may show me throwing my left hand. All right, so just let you guys know. All right, but we know that Deontay, although he's a high KO percentage puncher, he isn't one of those when the bell rings coming out. He's not fighting Joe Frazier style, right? If he's coming out like this, he'll come out. Sometimes Wilder have his legs spread apart. I think that hurts him sometimes stylistically, but it's gotten him this far and it works, and he can bend and lean. He gets away with this leaning back like that because he's fighting guys that don't have as long as reach as him. Fury can actually reach over and touch him though. I believe he can because he has very long fucking arms. All right, but Wilder wants to do this. Keep that jab. Sometimes he'll snap the jab. He'll snap it. Sometimes he'll paw and probe and try to knock your hand down. Come with his right hand. He'll paw. You know, he'll do this to make you, even if he throw the jab just to make you blink. But that, you blink, you get hit. You blink, you get hit. So he wants to fight like this. To me, Wilder, from the outside looking in, if there is an area that I think isn't as sharp as his playing you in reach game, it's this game. Can Wilder, chop and play this game and move? And can he play? I don't know. I know he caught Ortiz with a uppercut that dropped Ortiz when he had Ortiz hurting that tent. So I'm not sure, man. I think Fury, like you just said, wrap Wilder up and put his weight on him. Is Wilder going to be strong enough to push Fury off of him? He might be. Should he push Luis Ortiz off? He pushed Gerald Washington off of him pretty easily. But Fury's a different guy. He has long arms. He can wrap up Wilder in different ways. Probably dig to his body. And try to mix it up with Wilder. Fury may fight like this and then switch southpaw and do all this type of shit that Fury likes to do and move around the ring and all. He may do that. Or he may do what he did against Cunningham. When Cunningham clipped him with that right hand, what did Fury do? He got right up on him. He got physical with him. Started banging, pushing him. You ain't going nowhere. Nope. Get back over here. You slide over there and push him back over here. He started to get physical. If he does that to Wilder, is Wilder going to be able to push him off and then get his respect back with the distance? Or will Wilder have to fight like this? It can get interesting if that happens. If Wilder said, fuck, I can't get him off, or I can't get him off enough to get my distance back, I may only get him off to where he's right here, not, way over there on the other side of my jab. Or he may have to fight him like this. Who knows? But I think Wilder's quick enough, at least early on, to step out of that, to step around when he's getting trapped like that, to step around and turn. You know what I mean? But as the fight wears on, will that weight advantage from Fury come into play? We will see. Because I think naturally, Tyson Fury outweighs Wilder, I would guess, by about 40 pounds naturally. I think he outweighs him by about 40 pounds naturally. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. We will see. But I think early on there's a possibility that we get a lot of this shit from both guys, where their jab hand's gonna be touching each other's jab hand, trying to find little areas. Wilder may try to sneak one in, Fury may get away from him in a circle. You know what I mean? Or Wilder may just do it so quick, he just catches ass. Intriguing, man. It's gonna be an intriguing fight. And I think somebody trying to test Wilder's body may be a good thing too, man. You know? Try to test that body out. Test Wilder's body. Press him. Step inside that right hand. Instead of trying to play the long distance game with him. It's going to be a good fight, Joe. But that's just a little quick sample, man. AZ says WBC isn't fair towards Whyte. Do you think he can trust him? This must be, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. You gotta get something in writing. Don't go in there with no handshake agreements. And I think the WBC been unfair with a lot of dudes throughout the years, man. It's not just Dillian Whyte, but pertaining to Whyte though, I think the way they handled Brazil beating Molina and Whyte beating Helenius, I think they did that unfairly. Because now you got fucking Brazil out here saying that, hey, I'll fight Dillian Whyte when he doesn't necessarily have to. But had they just ordered it, we wouldn't be going through all this. Had Brazil fought Dillian Whyte, we wouldn't have to go through all of this, man. This is what upsets me about the WBC the most, is we wouldn't have to even go through all this shit. But regardless of who and what happens in December, those fights are going to be important. If Whyte goes ahead and fights Chisora, that's not necessarily a gimme fight. That's going to be a tough fucking fight. It's going to be an exciting fight as well. But I think after December's over, we'll have a more clear understanding after December, in my opinion. Based on Whyte most likely fighting Chisora in a rematch, Ortiz, and I hope they get somebody decent for Ortiz December 1st. You know what, man? That's an argument that could be made too. But I guess it depends on who they get Ortiz to fight. Do I want to see Ortiz fight journeyman some journeyman guy December 1st, or fight Dillian Whyte December 22nd? The fan in me, looking at the importance of the division, I want to see, in that situation, I would rather see Ortiz fight Dillian Whyte December 22nd. As far as me attending the fight, I want to see fucking Luis Ortiz fight. But if you're asking me the importance of the division, if they can't get somebody significant or just somebody fucking decent to fight Ortiz on the 1st, then yeah, the December 22nd fight against Whyte in the UK would mean more. And I kind of said that late in the video, so I know people that's probably left the video probably thinking, man, he didn't even bring this up. But that's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts right now because shit's still unclear. It's still unclear that Dillian Whyte, who he's fighting exactly, or did I miss it? Or is it already out, like officially out? And Ortiz hasn't found an opponent yet. You know what I mean? So things are kind of unclear as of right now. But if Ortiz is to fight a journeyman, as far as me going, I want to watch him fight. You know what I mean? Because I'll be there. But as far as the division is concerned, it'd be better if Ortiz fought Whyte out in the UK on December 22nd. But fingers crossed, man, that we get a good opponent for him, man. And there should be no fucking excuses, whoever it is, whoever they ask. Should be no excuses, man. I mean, what? It's, you got the rest of this whole month. And if you're really about your business, really about your shit, gym anyways, not pretty much training for fights, but you should at least be in the gym where it's like, okay, I got Ortiz, bet, I'm already in the gym. You should already be in the gym. That's when people say I'm not ready or I need more time. It's like, what the fuck have you been doing? You're a fighter. Like, this is your job, you know what I mean? Especially if you're in that upper echelon, top 10 sanctioning body ranking guy. Like, you should always be ready to go. Even if you're not in training camp mode, you should at least be in a mode to where you're putting 20 rounds on the bag. I mean, hell, I put in rounds on my bag, and I'm not no pro fighter. I just work out. So normal guy like me doing it, a dude is making hundreds of thousands of dollars probably, dude, you should be ready. This should be nothing. You know, you should be able to take fights on 4, 5, 6 weeks notice, man. Some guys would love the fact to get a 6-week training camp. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you'll have the rest of this month to train. It's only fucking October, was it 5th? You know what I mean? So you got the rest of this month, the whole month of November. I'm sure the last few days before the fight, December 1st, you'll probably taper down, but this is well in more than enough time, man. So whoever they offer this fight to, they better take this fight, man. For real. Enough of the bullshit, man. People act like they need fucking 7 months to train. Like this era is just frustrating, man. Are there guys still out there that take fight on short notice? Yeah, of course there are still guys out there that do it. But I hear a lot of guys saying that they need months and months to train, man. It's just, I don't understand it. Especially when this is your profession. Somebody says, I want Wilder Whyte first, though. Winner gets AJ. Okay. I want undisputed first, though. And then the contenders can line up. That's what I would want. But if that's what you want, bro, more power to you. Woolbag says, winner gets AJ. Why? Xavier says, fight him on Wilder's undercard and get exposure in the U.S. Games PP says, WBC loves Canelo. Yes, they do. Xavier says, champion over contenders. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't recall last time I heard somebody say, nah, put undisputed on the back burner. I want to see one of the champions fight somebody else first, but it is what it is. Woolbag says, I'm just going to tune out anyone who says they want Whyte versus Wilder before AJ versus Wilder. You said enough. Zoe Knight says, Ortiz can't turn down pay-per-view money. He got to accept Whyte offer surely. Xavier says, you don't know what he'll make on the undercard. Okay, I see y'all going back and forth. Sarah Lippa says, do you listen to Hatman Boxing? Yeah, I'm sub to Hatman. I'm sub to a lot of people. I've been sub to Hatman for some years. I don't necessarily agree with everything Hatman has to say. And I'm sure if Hatman were to listen to some of my videos, he probably wouldn't agree with what I have to say all the time. You know what I mean? He has some views that I'm like, okay, don't agree on that, but I'll listen. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sub to Hatman, listen to Hatman. Shouts out to Hatman. Let me see here. I see a lot of y'all going back and forth. But hey, man, I'm going to read a few more. I'm going to jump off, get a good workout in, man. I got to make some moves tonight. So let me just Grievous says I look like a bigger version of Kevin Kelly. Shout out to the Flush and Flash, Kevin Kelly, man. I remember that fight Kelly had against Prince Nassim. Nassim came over here, did his thing. Hey, man, we used to love the Prince, man, when I was coming up. A lot of his fights, that Kevin Kelly fight happened when I was in college, I think. But yeah, Prince was a wild dude, man. Just his whole swag, the way he carried himself, the way he would talk shit, come to the ring, showboating, have all these lions, tigers, and fireworks and all types of shit before his fights, man. But yeah, shout out to Kevin Kelly and the Prince. I actually lost money on the Prince in college, man, for the Barrera fight. I bet some money. Lost a few $100 on that Barrera fight, man. But Barrera roughed him up. He roughed the Prince up. He roughed the Prince up, man. Dean Jones says tomorrow Connor versus that Russian cat. You talking about the MMA joint? Is that what you talking about? If you are, I haven't really followed MMA, man. There was a time where I was paying a little bit of attention to it. I say like 2001, 2002, probably somewhere in there. Because they would show, what was the other organization? Not the UFC, but what was that shit called? The one they had out in, was it Japan? The Grand Prix or whatever. That I used to pay attention to that before, like, that's the first place I seen Rampage Jackson and Miracle Crow Cop and all them cats, man. You know what I mean? So I pay attention to MMA, the UFC / the other leagues and all that from about 2002 till about 2009 ish, and then I just kind of, you know what I mean? Like I stopped watching like Matt Hughes and BJ Penn and them was going at it. Chuck Liddell and all them cats, man. I'll see highlights here and there because I watch sports shows, so I'll see some highlights here and there, but I really don't keep up on it. I do know guys like John Jones and Conor McGregor. So I'm a casual when it comes to MMA. Easy Band says, "What's Wilder's purse split with Fury? It better be over 15 million, otherwise that's just more evidence." I don't know how much he's making. All I know is they getting it on, and I'm gonna be there. Shit, fuck what they making. You know how much money I have to pay for this trip, man? For me and my wife? Shit. Fuck how much they making, man. Shit. Let me see. I'm gonna read a few more, y'all. I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Even if we disagree, man. Even if we disagree. It's all good. Lucky go on. Okay, I don't know if you're talking to me or not. But he says somebody lies a lot. I'm not sure who he's talking to. Maybe he's talking about me. Maybe not. Don't know. Clint, what's good, man? He says, what's good, Mr. Boxing? Whyte versus Ortiz needs to happen. Ortiz beats him. Then he writes his own ticket. No one could say anything again. Yeah, I agree, man. Rich77 says 180. Shout out to Blood Boxing. All right, I see y'all talking about pay and all this. I don't know who. I don't even give a fuck about paying who gets more. And I understand it's business is a part of boxing. Boxing is the business. I get it. We all get it. All right, man. Let me see. Ticket TV, what's good, bro? He says Whyte don't want smoke with Ortiz. What's good, Ticket? Hey, man. Looks like it's gonna be a little bit of showtime in LA, Ticket. I ain't comparing them to them 80 Lakers, man, but obviously. But LeBron bringing that feel, man, because that Staples Center was fucking packed for that preseason game. I think they said it was sold out for a preseason. So LeBron's bringing that feel back to LA. Will that translate into wins and get into the finals? It's going to be an uphill battle because Golden State, man, especially if DeMarcus Cousins can be fucking 75% of what he was. That dude's a load to deal with. He's also a great, DeMarcus is a dude. He's kind of like Draymond in a way, as far as his attitude, his demeanor, the way he approaches the game. But DeMarcus Cousins, to me, doesn't get enough credit for his passing ability. He makes good plays. I've seen him. When I watch his highlights, I watch not just his buckets, getting buckets. Everybody look good when they're getting buckets. But I'm looking like making the right passes. When he's on the break, will he give it up to the other guy? Will he make good basketball decisions when he's out there? Getting a rebound, as soon as you get the rebound, looking for the long outlet. DeMarcus does those types of things. He got a nice little jumper. He can handle it a little bit. I wouldn't expect him to bring the fucking ball up, but he can handle it a little bit. So if he can give me 75%, Golden State gonna damn it probably be unfair, literally. And if he can just lock down defensively, and Golden State is gonna win that West. The Rockets look good too. I like Carmelo. Carmelo, but he's gonna be a spot up jumper, or a spot up, jab step, jab step, jab step, jab step, then the jumper. Man, Carmelo give you like 17 motherfucking jab steps before he make a move to the basket. But Carmelo I think he fits good in that role because he can catch it. You gotta respect his J, so he'll give you the pump fake. He gonna get a lot of shots either open. He knows how to create them, not just the jab step, but when he gets the ball, if he goes up there like he's gonna shoot, you have to put a hand up because you automatically think the motherfucker gonna fire it. Carmelo's a gunner. So he can get that pump fake, take a step in and shoot the long two, or give you the pump fake, separation dribble, still pull up for the three or whatever it is. Sometimes he can be out there waiting for the ball and then just cut back door real quick if the defender's trying to play. Usually, I think the defender will play off of him because they'll expect him to shoot. Maybe if they're playing off of him, Carmelo's still a load. Carmelo can even get some post-ups. You know what I mean? But I like the feeling that LeBron is bringing back to LA, though, man. Kuzma, I want to see how he develops. Ingram, they got some good pieces. I want to see how Lonzo Ball, see if it's, how cohesive their unit can be when he comes back. Rondo's very smart, championship level type of point guard out there. Sometimes he can have his own idea of what he wants to do, though. I've heard teammates talk about Rondo being so headstrong. He'll go against what the coach is talking about to run, and usually your point guard is the extension of the coach out there on the floor. But in this situation, when you got LeBron out there, bro, Rondo will have to take a step back. But I want Rondo to be the Rondo he's always been, because that's what they're expecting. Not necessarily athletically or anything like that, but just making the right plays, being that headstrong guy out there to get everybody involved. He's going to have to be able to hit open jump shots. There's a few jumpers he took. He was kind of hesitant. He did like a pick and roll, and he stopped his dribble. He was looking, and then he pulled up. It wasn't like that, okay, the pick and roll is coming. I'm not going to hit you. I'm shooting this motherfucker. As soon as this pick and roll take place, as soon as we make our separation, I'm shooting. Rondo wants to hit you first, but then sometimes Rondo get caught where if he can't find that bounce pass or that over-the-top lob pass, he'll kind of get stuck, and then he'll shoot an off-balance jumper sometime. And to me, when guys go like that, they look for the pass, and they're looking, and then they have to shoot, sometimes that's not really a good rhythm shot for some guys. You know what I mean? I like the fact they got JaVale McGee, because nowadays in the league, man, I know I kind of went to basketball, y'all, but let me just talk about this. Nowadays in the league, guys will, right now it's like the pick and roll with the lob to the big guy. Like that's like, I remember back in the 90s, you can get that every once in a while because motherfuckers would check you up top on them pick and rolls. They'll check you with an elbow. Now everything's a foul. You know what I mean? But McGee is one of them guys, you can use him off the pick and roll and then throw the lob to the basket. The motherfucker can jump, and he's long as hell. I think he'll get a lot of dunks like that. McGee's showing he got a little bit of range, but I don't think he's a stretch center or anything like that. You know what I mean? But it's going to be an interesting season this year, man. I think I might talk about more hoops. Man. Take it. We definitely going to do that collab together, bro. I know you out in, I believe you out one of them Latin countries, right? So I don't know what the time difference is like, but we definitely going to get a collab, man. Let me see if you're still in the building. Damn, that was comments. You might be gone now, bro. Let me see. Holy shit. I appreciate all these comments, man. I have to read some of these when I come back, man. Or after it's, damn, it's a lot of fucking comments. Yeah, I think Ticket may have bounced, but okay, now I'm seeing stuff about the zone and other topics. Hi, Rider 90 says, Mr. Boxing, talk about boxing, bro. Where you at? Yeah, bro, the last hour. That little basketball rant right there was just towards the end, man. But I'm about to get off here. But you can go watch the archive of this, man. I talked about, I even showed some stuff on the bag about a few fights. But I covered the October 6th fight. I talked about the Ortiz, Dillian, Whyte. And then I talked about the stuff that's going to take place October 6th tomorrow. Simon Kean, Dylan Carmen, Peter Milas going to be in action. Miller versus Adamek, Dubois Johnson. Noski Solomon making his pro debut. And Darmani Rock taking on Pedro Rodriguez. So I talked about all that. And somebody even asked me about Wilder and Fury, little style breakdown. So it's in here, man. Illis92 says, Mr. Boxing coming with the basketball knowledge. I agree. Boogie is still the most skilled center in the league. Yes, sir. I'm going to talk about more hoops, man. I skipped over a lot of comments, y'all, because y'all was going back and forth. But I do see some people in here that Notice my man Unity Boxing was good. Dean Jones, what it do? Easy Bands. James Coleman, my man, was good. Michael was good. Him, the one boxing, what it do? He says, hit that like button, please. I appreciate it, y'all, if you do. Or the thumbs down button. It's you know, it's all on you. Easy Band says, respects the live. I appreciate that, my man. Rory Tabori says, Mr. Boxing, what do you think of Povetkin versus Ortiz? And that's not, I kept seeing this in like multiple comment sections that people were saying Povetkin beat Ortiz in the amateurs. I've never heard of that, y'all. I know that Ortiz did lose to a guy named Alexander like Maranovo or some shit like that. But I never heard that Ortiz fought Povetkin. I don't even know. I need to check my Twitter because I actually, after I heard that, I went to, or I seen that in the comment section, I went to Luis Ortiz official Twitter page that's handled by his manager, and I asked him, but I haven't went back to see what the response was. But I went and I looked everywhere. I went to Google. The only thing I can see where that was ever brought up at was in a chat forum on Boxing 24/7 like 2 years ago. It was somebody in the chat forum. The dude had no proof. He just said he beat the dude in that chat forum said Povetkin beat Ortiz in like 30 seconds or some shit in the amateurs. That's the only place this news is on some random ass chat forum on Boxing 24/7. There's no like, it doesn't say what tournament they fought in, when it took place, none of that. So I've never heard that, bro. So it could be true, but from my understanding, I never knew that. And I'm usually privy on things like that about who fought in the amateurs and those types of things. You know what I mean? So I never heard that Povetkin fought Ortiz in the amateurs. But with that said, though, the fight itself, it'd be a good fight. It'd be a real good fight, man. Povetkin wants to come in, try to land a left hook, overhand rights. He'll go to the body. Ortiz wants to set you up. I think there's a possibility of Ortiz setting Povetkin up as Povetkin comes forward to be aggressive. He likes to dip low and, you know, use his head. Sometimes he'll kind of jab, 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 and then come over with the right hand, or he'll go down to the left, go over to the left, land the body shot, the overhand right. Those types of things. Ortiz very crafty, very sneaky and surgical with his left hands. He'll find his openings. That fight to me will come down to who can take whose power. Because I think Ortiz landing just big, hard shots on you and you're not getting out the way, he'll fuck around and put you to sleep. But I also think Luis Ortiz is very sneaky, calculated, and crafty. I've said this before, he is surgical with his left hand. Straights, uppercuts, hooks. He's surgical with them, man. I think it's a good scrap. Ronald Finkley, what it do? He says, peace, salute. Appreciate that, King. Colin Palmer, what's up? He says, Povetkin. Okay, he's talking to somebody. I see him in the comment section. Okay, yeah, so God of War just talked about it. He says Povetkin never fought Ortiz. Pervernov did. Yeah, that was the guy's name, Alexander Povernov. So I don't know where the fuck did I even come? I just seen it in people's comment sections, like who the fuck came up with that? And I went to go look for it on Google because I'm like, damn, they did. So first I went to YouTube, like, how the fuck did I not know this? Nothing on YouTube. So then I went to Google and just typed it in, and this news is coming from a random chat forum on Boxing 24/7 from like 2 years ago, where just some faceless name account said he beat him. That's it. So no record of it, just some guy on a chat forum. But if you guys have some news or articles about it, please send it to me. I mean, it's over now, right? But if he did, shit, I just want to see it. You know what I mean? Or just read more about it if it really did happen. All right, see y'all going back and forth with each other. What time is it here? Yes, almost 7 o'clock p.m. here, man. So I'm going to jump off, man. I got to get a workout in. I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Big Nick says, what's LDBC beef with Eddie Hearn and AJ? Watch the videos. If you want to see what individuals of the LDBC think about that, there's some individuals like myself. I mean, we all have our own different opinions, man. You know what I mean? So when you just lump the LDBC together and say they think this, that's bullshit, because I have my own opinion as versus a guy like Blood or 78 or Black Fight Fan or Cali Enigma or Fanon International or any of the guys. You know what I mean? I'm just naming a few. But we all have our different opinions on these things. So instead of saying, what's the LDBC lumping us all together, how about just saying, hey, all these individuals have different opinions about these topics. Some topics we agree about. Some topics, you know, we're all kind of different with our opinions, man. So. And that's another thing. It's like, you know, I mean, I think it just kind of goes without saying, man. Like, you know, we all have our own different opinions with the LDBC. So I might think one thing as opposed to 78. He may think something else. This guy, a Blue Blood Sports, may think something else. This guy, you know, everybody got different opinions. I'm not sure where this whole the LDBC we all think alike. Like, I'm not, you know, Ticket TV may think something else. I'm not sure where that came from. I'm not sure who wrote that, who put that narrative up that we all think alike, that we all think this, or we all think that. What I do know is we all want to see an undisputed fight. That's what I do know. But as far as individual storylines and all this and that, I mean, that's a broad question, you know, what you're asking me. So I guess you got to go to each individual's video and watch them for yourself and come up with your own conclusion. Carlton Palmer says 90% of that group hate on AJ and Hearn for real. Okay, I guess that's your opinion. I don't get what you mean by they're hating on them. From what I'm getting from us and what we want is us to see that fight. I'm glad Easy Bands left this comment. Let me address this. Easy Bands says, shaking my head, please don't lump yourself in with the LDBC, brother. Okay. All right, brother. Let me tell you this, bro. When people say, Mr. Boxing, why are you down with the LDBC? Or why, you know, you're going to, look, man, before it was called the LDBC, I've been cool with Blood Boxing for 12 fucking years. I've been cool with 78 Sports 7 years. I've been cool with guys like Town Biz and Ticket TV years before it started to be called the LDBC. I don't think some of you really understand that. So when 78 said, hey, I want to put together this LDBC thing, and then him and Black Fight Fan TV, and it just started growing, I've always been down with them. So the LDBC may be new to you, but the people a part of it have always been cool with me and always been cool with them, have respect for them, they have respect for me. We've always been cool with each other. So why wouldn't I be a part of something that people who I'm cool with, people who I respect their boxing opinions, do we agree on everything? No. Why wouldn't I be down with what they're doing? So when you said lump myself in, I've been like, bro, we've chopped it up over the phone before about boxing and years before it started to be called the LDBC. So like a guy like Town Biz, right? Town Biz got like, I think like 5,000 subs. Man, I've been subbed to him when he had like literally like 50 subs. And it's not about subs, but well, I'm just trying to tell you, I was cool with him before that even started. My question to you is, though, I see a lot of people who hate on the LDBC. You know what I'm saying? And they all got these funny narratives, man. It's just, to me, I've never seen this shit. Some of the narratives that they come out with. So when you say lump myself with, what do you mean by that? I've always been cool with these brothers, man, for years. So, you know. Zoe Knight says LDBC will be so irrelevant when AJ beats Wilder and Ortiz gets knocked out by Whyte. It discredits all they've been talking about for the last year. That's not true. If they were relevant, see, you guys are looking at just the 4 letters LDBC. Look, man, damn near all the members, the core members of it that started, like, they've been around before they started that. They were known and popping before that. So what makes you think it's not going to be the same after that? It's just a fight. This fight isn't riding on our channels, and if he loses, no, it's going to be a great fight. Respect AJ if he beats Wilder. He's undisputed. We haven't had an undisputed since 1999. You get what I'm saying here? So this ain't the case where somebody going to shut their channel down if the dude loses. Just a lot of guys are guys that are favoring Deontay Wilder. What's wrong with that, man? You know, it's weird on here, man, because, you know, like when Miguel Cotto fights Margarito, right? You're going to have a what rivalry? A what rivalry? Puerto Rican-Mexican rivalry, right? So if Puerto Rican fans are going for Miguel Cotto, were those fans irrelevant after the loss to Margarito the first time? And I know Margarito allegedly had fucking bricks on his hands, but you guys get what I'm saying here. So, okay, American fans are going for Deontay Wilder. If Wilder loses to Fury or whoever else he loses to, those fans are going to be irrelevant? Like, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. When the Packers play the Vikings in the NFL on Sunday, so that's been our rival forever. The Packers beat us. The Vikings fans, you know, we're not irrelevant no more. You know, doesn't make any sense, man. But some of these cats that y'all saying, don't group myself with, I've been knowing these brothers for 10, 11, 12 years, man, doing collabs, talking about the heavyweights for years on here. You know what I mean? So to me, yeah, man, I'm glad to be a part of what they're doing, man. I really respect them. Now, when it comes to this Wilder thing and AJ thing, you may disagree with them, but it is what it is, man. Zoe Knight says LDBC is a cancer to boxing media. So if that's the case, why are you on my channel? Am I a cancer to boxing media? Nah, fuck that, man. Like, I'm not riding with that at all. Pasha Blaine says, been on this YouTube boxing shit for over 10 years now, since the shit 2006, the 2040 360p videos. Yeah, bro, you've been on. You remember them times where YouTube only allowed you to upload for like 10 minutes? That's the part of YouTube. That's how long I've been on here, when you can only go for 10 minutes. Now YouTube is ran so different because even I used to do this like about 2016 when I did this a lot, where I'll drop 8 videos in one day, 8, 9 videos in one day. You couldn't even do no shit like that back in the day on YouTube. Because the shit would take all day to upload. If you put out 2 videos a day, you was doing a lot. I mean, if you put out like 3 videos a week, that you were active. That was considered active. Now I know cats putting out 9, 10, 13. There's other genres, things I listen to on YouTube, other type of bloggers or vloggers. They put out 13 fucking videos a day. Even I was putting out 8, 9, 10 videos in 2016. You know what I mean? So things have changed since the 2007, 2008. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been here too since those days, man, just like you, man. But he says, Pasha says, respect the movement, pushing for quality matchups and essentially defending the paying customer. Exactly. Andrew Kalaja says LDBC knows boxing. The Cali Enigma, shouts out to him too, man. LDBC says Easy Bands, we're a group of individuals who agree on some things and disagree on a lot. Of course, man. I remember that I caught the Smoke City Mobcast when and man, I wanted to jump on it, but I was driving, but I was listening to y'all, and I wanted to disagree with Black Fight fans so bad because he was going at it with Southside Boxing about the Easter Jr. versus Garcia, or not Garcia. Yeah, Mikey Garcia. And I'm sitting there like, dude, Garcia gonna whoop his ass, man. But Black Fight fan was pushing for Easter. He was breaking it down by style, and I was like, nah, I disagree. But Southside was pretty much making the same points that I would have made. And we saw how that turned out. So yeah, man. And even with this fight, like I'm one of the people that don't think this is gonna be easy for Wilder. There's some cats that think he's gonna blow him out. But style-wise, I don't see this being easy. And I think it's gonna something. If it does end by knockout, Wilder gonna have to have earned it. Now anything can happen, but just based on their styles and how I see this breaking down compared to other fights, he's gonna have earned it. You know, people are asking me, this off subject a little bit, but people are asking me who does Fury most resemble that Wilder has fought. And a lot of people are saying like Gerald Washington because of, you know, staying outside with the jab. You know, a person that we forgot, some people can say Malik Scott, but that fight only went so many damn seconds. But what's the dude's name? See, man, I forgot the dude's name, man. It's the 6'7" dude that he fought that was undefeated. They fought on Showbox, I think. And he knocked him out. Wilder knocked him out with a right hand. The dude that used to play Division I basketball. He played for Tulane University. He worked out. He was being trained by Roy's dad. Roy Jones Jr.'s dad. What's the dude's name? Not in the corner, but he had got work with Roy's father. Let me see if somebody leave it in the comment section. The 6'7" dude that he fought, man. I can't fucking remember his name. Let me see if one of y'all brung it up. Let me see. Nope, nobody brought up. What the fuck is dude's name, y'all? Kelvin Price. Thanks you, James Colvin. Kelvin Price. Yo, Price was kind of, if you go watch that fight, some of his movements rival Fury. I'm not saying he's Tyson Fury, but this shit, he's doing this and going like that. That's Tyson Fury. This shit, jabbing, moving, looking, jabbing, that type of shit. But he don't have the girth. He doesn't have some of the intangibles though of Tyson Fury. But he will give you some of that, you know, using a jab, looking, moving, using that jab. He will give you that look. And I was like, damn, that's kind of how Fury moves a little bit. And how did Wilder catch him? He caught him when Calvin Price was moving back with a low left jab hand. Wilder came out. Wilder actually did like this. He came out that round and went boom and knocked the shit out of Calvin Price, man. So High Rider 90 says Mr. Boxing tall as fuck. Yeah, I'm about 6 with my shoes off, bare feet. I'm about 6'4", and then depending on what shoes I got on, I may be about close to 6'6" with some shoes on or boots on or something like that. But I'm probably a little over 6'4" with my shoes off. I think last time I went to the doctor, they had me at like 6'4" and like 1/8 or some shit like that. Yeah, and Reynolds, it was Calvin Price. Yep. Shout out to my man M. Reynolds, man. Long time subscriber, man. Appreciate when you come through, man. So yeah, man, just to wrap up that whole LDBC thing, I've been meaning to make videos, and I never like to make them type of video where I put it in a hashtag and talk about it for a long extended amount of time. Because this one, and shout out to Junior the Truth. There's a lot of guys, man, but my thing is, why the fuck am I going to explain myself about something, which I'm doing it now, but why haven't I made a video just about that? Because it's like, I've always been cool with these dudes. How the fuck, why would I come out with a video to re-explain why I'm cool with somebody that I've already been cool with for over a decade or close to a decade? Shouts out to Coach Sheldon Harrison too. Respect all them brothers, man. Been always cool with them. And if the LDBC were to end tomorrow, I'll be cool with them tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to be a part of something that they, you know, that 78 wanted to put together. And I understood why he put it together. I respected why he wanted to put it together. Because around that time, man, it was just a lot of bullshit, a lot of racist type shit going on here. And if you pick a guy, I mean, this shit was just wild, man. And a lot of shit was being said online. I'm like, man, if I seen one of these dudes, I mean, I was getting to the point where I was like, if I seen one of these dudes, man, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know, I mean, cats coming to the channel, and all this shit took place around, I believe, I could be wrong, or when the LDBC was created. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say it was around the time that Pavek and Wilder's situation happened with the drug testing. I could be wrong though, but I know it was around that time. It could, you know, it was around there. It was around that moment. Maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after, but it was around that time. Just a lot of bullshit, man. So I understood what 78 was trying to do. First, the LDBC was a debating platform. It was just Lions Den, you know what I mean? Meaning we're the Lions, we're gonna lock in. We're, as far as boxing fans, hardcore fans here on YouTube, a lot of us shit, you know, we're the smartest person around our other friends when it comes to boxing. So when you get all people together, we're the Lions, you know what I mean? You put us in, lock us in, people can debate, things like that. Then that debate form kind of went away. And then, you know, we have what we have now. So it went from like a debate type of thing on Sammy H's channel to what it is now. And it's just a group of guys, man, that's making sure that, you know, fighters aren't getting they're getting presented in the right way, because sometimes these mainstream media members aren't promoting the fighters that should be getting promoted here. You know what I mean? So shout out to the boxing clinic as well. You know, so I like what's going on. I like it. If you don't, shit, don't watch, I guess. Yeah, Callie, that's true. Callie said us in the LDBC, we actually have contacts. That's true. I got a lot of contacts. I know a lot of, yeah, and that's nothing. We get interviews as well. You know what I mean? I got I mean, this ain't about me trying to brag or nothing, but man, yes, we have contacts, man. So Boxing 5 says are there any young US heavyweights you are excited about right now? Yeah, man, Darmani Rock is a young guy. He's actually fighting tomorrow. Want to see how he looks. Nikolsky Solomon is making his pro debut tomorrow. Nick Mazurek is 9-0. Want to see how he pans out. Jermaine Franklin. I think Jermaine Franklin is underrated. He's about 17-0. I think he's underrated, man. I liked him in the amateurs. He's a patient. He's about 6'2", about 240, but he's a patient, smaller guy. Smaller meaning height, shorter guy. He's about 6'2". He's patient. He sets his punches up well. If that kid has a chin to go with what I see, I think he's a sleeper. Trey Lippy Morrison is somebody that I want to see keep fighting. There's a lot, man. I mean, there's quite a few other guys too. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Marlo Moore, he actually upset Darmani Rock in the Olympic trials. Moore couldn't win a qualifying tournament to get in the Olympics though, but he's solid. I want to see if he turns pro, how he looks. Trying to think who else. I know there's more I'm forgetting, but what I named about 4 or 5 right there. So there's some more. I can't think right now, man. Cassius Chaney's another guy who I want to see start to get a big fight and see how he pans out. Greg Corbin isn't a young guy, but he is somebody that's undefeated, has heavy hands. I want to just see him get a shot against somebody and just see how it pans out. You know what I mean? George Arias, a shorter heavyweight. A lot of these guys, I just want to see how it pans out. We can sit here and break them down and say, oh, he's too short, or he's this, or he's that. I just want to see once they get in there, how things pan out for them. I'm starting to get a lot of... What time is it here? Fuck. All right, y'all. I really got to get off, man. Hey, man, shouts out to the LDBC. You know what I mean? Cali Enigma, I see you in the building going back and forth right now. And just shouts out to all the heavyweight boxing fans, man, whether you're from the UK and you disagree with a lot of things I say about when it pertains to Dillian Whyte fighting, you know, whoever it is. But I respect the heavyweights out there, too, especially young up-and-coming guys like Daniel Dubois, Nathan Gorman, Martin Bakoli Alunga, although he's a Congo fighter. He's kind of basing his fights out in the UK. Or is he? I think he... but I know he's in the UK training. You know what I mean? I like Dillian Whyte. Even when fucking Price is in the ring, although I think he's going to get knocked out, I would still like to just watch and see what he does. You know what I mean? So, Gary Cornish was a guy who I was talking about when he was undefeated before he fought AJ. So, I've always had respect for the guys out there, man. It's just this UK, USA rivalry. Wilder Joshua is just causing a little online going back and forth thing right now. So people, some of you that are new to me probably wasn't around to appreciate some of that work that I was doing when I was talking about AJ when he was fucking 3-0. And I actually did a video on my old page predicting AJ or Joshua versus Klitschko. Fight will be epic when it happens. This 2014, y'all, and people were telling me, nah, what are you talking about? And this when Klitschko was still Klitschko, just blitz Pulev, and people were thinking I was crazy. I said, bro, this kid possibly is going to be fighting Klitschko one day. It's going to be epic. But I also put like, not right now, but when it's ready, it's going to be epic. I was one of the first ones talking about that, y'all. Believe it or not, yes, I was one of the first ones on YouTube. I'm not saying in the whole world, but on YouTube. It's true. You know what I mean? So, but with that said though, man, props to all the fans in Germany, Canada, Croatia, everywhere, man. Cuba, you know what I mean? I get a lot of comments from all over the world, man. Poland, Kiev, Germany, I mean, everywhere. You know what I mean? So I appreciate all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all showing up. About to get a workout in. I got shit to do tonight. You know what I mean? So y'all be easy. After these fights tomorrow, I'm going to go live again, talk about them. We're going to go from there. We're going to chop it up again, y'all. All right? Y'all be easy, man. I'm gone.